Hi guys. Okay. So I'm going to try and finish the video that I started on mind control. If you guys noticed, all my videos on Facebook and YouTube get cut out when I start to talk about certain things. So I'm gonna try to use like code words, I think. Did I already say it? Shit. Oh well, sorry. um, so I think I left off where the lady at the mall was in front of me, and she turns. I'm like, well, she's following me, so I might as well like follow her, like, because she's going the same place I am. There's more than one person following because they like circle around or whatever. There's like usually 5 to 7. um and she turns, and then she like sees that I'm behind her, and she pulls over and she puts her hazards on. Well, on the parallel street, there was another person who was like one of them who was coming around. He stops and he puts his hazards on. Well, I pull up next to her and I'm like, "Are you following me?" She's like, "No." And like, okay, sure. Um, and her car, like I've had my friends just sit in front of my window and write down the cars that they see because they would think I was crazy. Well, not when they sat there and wrote down the cars that they saw. I have numerous papers around the house with the same cars from different people, and it's crazy. Um, Anyways, so that was one of my run ins with her. Another run in with her that I had was um, when I was working with someone on a construction job uh, who happened to be an NSA officer. Um, I didn't know it at the time, I don't think. I'm not sure if I knew it at the time or not, actually, so I don't want to lie, but, and we were at Habitat for Humanity, and she followed us in there. Now, he, of course, knew I was being followed. He had a team. They actually had pulled over some people that were following me before. Um, it's it's lots of stuff. Maybe not before, maybe after. Guys, my memory is, you know, brain injury. Um, Brain injury plus like so much information that it's just, I know a lot of stuff. I'm always teaching people about stuff. Like, I know a lot because I research all the time. Anyways, then the next run in that I had with her, now this is where it gets freaking weird. So, I had been cleaning my house. I was like really gross. I was planning on taking a shower, and my mom was going to come over and we were going to talk because crazy stuff happened with her or whatever. And I was cleaning a rug in my basement in my utility sink. Well, the hose is like this long or something. I don't know. It's short. And I guess there's not a regulator on my water. Um, well, it was really hot, and I I went to turn it off, but instead of turning it off, I actually turned it up. So it like lost control and it burned the shit out of me. But I didn't even realize it burned me because, you guys, when I got burnt, I was on one side of the basement, and then all of a sudden, I was on the complete opposite side of the basement. I have no idea how I got there. And so I didn't even realize, like, I got burnt. I was more or less like, what the fuck just happened? Um, it was, I'm still like, I could probably use those abilities if I knew how to. Just like it would probably help if I was better with this time stuff that I don't realize that I do, which is why Mr. NSA was um, around, because my, I think, NAT score or something was like off the charts, and they said I was like time traveling like 11 times, and like they know that stuff because they're basically watching everybody. We know this though. So, and this was like three and a half years ago, I think. Mind you, I'm not great with time. 2016, 2017. Um, Now, so I burn myself. My mom gets there. I send her to the store to get me burn cream because I don't want to go to the hospital. She takes 45 minutes. She comes back with sunburn cream, not burn cream. I'm like, by that time, I'm going through shock. And I'm like, but I'm consciously aware of going through shock. It was really interesting. And there was like, this is about to sound crazy, guys. And a lot of the stuff that I'm saying, I can't believe I'm saying because I didn't believe it 5 years ago. I told people that they were crazy when they said these types of things. And, well, I guess this is my karma. Because I certainly have lost many friends and been told I was crazy lots and lots of times. But it's time to wake up, guys, like, for all of us. And I'm still waking up every day. It's like, anyways, back to my story. So, my mom calls an ambulance. Now, mind you, Mr. NSA had asked me about my mom because I guess she was like a super soldier or something, and she was found at a base in Wisconsin or something when she was like 14. She ran away when she was 13 and hitchhiked across the United States. She was like touring with like the Dead and all kinds of stuff like that, and wound up in CIA projects, which is how I happened, because I'm a product of Project Stargate. Um, and there's a whole lot with that that's like, uh, mind you, I just found all this out like recently, so I'm still like trying to understand who I am, what I am, why I didn't know. Like, it's like my mind's blown. Um, every day, I swear, I think I'm gonna wake up and everything's gonna go back to normal, but it doesn't. So she calls an ambulance, and like four of the hottest dudes in the world walk in my house. Now, mind you, I tried to get in the shower to put cold water on the burn, but I couldn't tell where it was, and it hurt really bad. And there was something growling under my toilet, which is supposedly some sort of alien tech that I had that NSA dude was telling me about that I still don't really understand. I know that sounds wild, but anyways, they make me walk down the stairs. It was really weird. I'm like going through shock. I'm feeling like I'm gonna face plant, and I'm naked, so it's like really fucking weird. And I smell really bad because I've been cleaning my house. I've been cleaning litter. Like, I've been doing all this like stuff, and I didn't get to take a shower. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. So I get in the I gotta rewind because there's something I need to tell you guys before this. So, yeah, I have to tell that part first. Okay, so this is about to get really weird. So, one time I was sitting there and I looked down at my hand, and there was something going back and forth in my hand doing something. It was almost like it was like building my hand or something. It was crazy. And then, so they're kind of used, this is, damn it, I gotta tell the whole story. So there was this like thing that was going on with me, and it was like, I guess now looking back at it, it was demonic, or some other form of mind control possibly. But basically, like, if I wouldn't masturbate, it was like I would have a bad day, and like just everything would go wrong, and like, so I don't know that it was demonic or mind control because I'm just not sure. And also could be like, sex trafficking because you know if they have cameras in your house, and then they're voice disculling you and like messing with you. I mean, this stuff is wild, guys. I'm still like But well, the one day, like, I was like, you know what, fuck this, like, I'm all my spiritual shit, and I'm not gonna masturbate, and this shit can suck my dick, and I don't have a dick, but, you know. And I hadn't for a while. Well, the next thing I know, this was another time I was cleaning my house. I do that a lot. Um, and all of a sudden, it was like my hormones just were like, ding, like, you're horny. And I was like, wait, that's not me, because it wasn't before my time of the month. There wasn't something that I was turned on about. It just wasn't natural. And, you know, then, guys, my left hand groped my vagina like a man. Not like I touch myself. I know how I touch myself. And I couldn't control it. And this is embarrassing. So now before the me burning myself day, 2 days prior, I had told that to Mr. NSA. So back to the rest of this story. So they put me in the van, and you know, I get in the van, and first of all, it was a van, and it was backed up to my like porch, which was kind of weird. But I'm like going through shock, so like I'm not even really. I'm naked. I'm going through shock. Like I'm burnt. Like I don't. You know what I mean? I get in there and I sit down and I'm like, no, no opiates, guys, no opiates. And they're like, is ketamine okay? And I was like, what? And they're like, is ketamine okay? And I was like, fuck yes. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, wait a minute, they're not about to put a line out. I was like, wait, how are you gonna give me ketamine? And the next thing you know, you guys, they must have shot me up with ketamine, and I went straight. Like, I'm not saying anything bad about people who are mentally retarded, because I love them very much and they're very special. They're actually smarter than a lot of people. Their minds are actually the same as monks and people who meditate all the time. Anyways, but so I go straight like, and I saw like the person that was sitting in front of me, like the nurse, he was scared. And I'm consciously aware for this all, so it's super freaking weird. Because like, I guess in October of 2016, my conscious like awareness just like really like was like whoop, like bing, because of some divine tech that came up from the center of the earth when it cracked open. Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. Now, the next thing I know, it was kind of weird because like it seemed like they had me in this van for a really long time, and they were shocking me and pinching me. Now, guys, like, there's no reason for me to make that stuff up. I love nurses, and I get along with almost everybody. Lately, maybe not everybody, because people think I'm crazy when I'm just really trying to awaken them to the truth, because shit's getting really weird, and it's about to get even weirder for everybody. It's been weird for me for a while, and everybody thought I was crazy, but now it's happening. And I mean, I've been trying to tell you guys this stuff since 2009. I've been preaching about Agenda 21 and all this stuff because just, there's more of us than them. How could we allow this to happen? Well, here it is, and it's happening. Anyways, so they're shocking me. They're like electrocuting me, and they're pinching me, and I'm like freaking out because I have felonies, and I can't be a nurse. I promised my foster dad that I would be a nurse because, you know, he was a veteran prisoner of war from Vietnam and stuff, and like, so he had a lot of problems like gangrene, Agent Orange. Like, I know this sounds weird because it's like colors, but this is the things that happened to him, like liver problems. He had his leg amputated, diabetes, all kinds of stuff. He was always in and out of intensive care, and he nicknamed me Scarlet Rose and Froggy Franny and Bob because I would be in the pool on like the 5-foot side, and I would be jumping and I'd be like, I'm swimming. Anyways, so I promised him that I would become a nurse on his deathbed, and I can't be a nurse because I have felonies for drugs, and these people are treating me like shit. They don't have felonies and they're nurses. Now, I'm sorry, but compassion should be a number one thing for somebody who's a nurse. Like, why? How could you be a nurse and not have compassion and be mean to somebody? Like, now there's more to it than that. I don't think they were just being mean to me, and I'm gonna explain that in a second. So they had to like sedate me because like I guess I was yelling at them like I can't like because they were hurting me, and it made me upset. Like how dare like the next thing I know, I wake up to that woman standing next to me, and I actually didn't realize it was her, but somebody like wake up, it's time to go. Nasty as fuck, not nice, not kind. Like wake up, it's time to go. I don't even like y'all sedated me. I don't know what's going on. I didn't know I was sedated. Like, and I'm in a fucking hospital. Like, I didn't know what was going on. And like, I look, and I'm like, kind of mad because somebody's being really rude to me. And there's the thing was in my arm, and I'm like, you want me to go? Well, you got to take this out. And she comes over to me. You guys, I'm still like beside myself about this. She comes next to me, and she grabs my arm really freaking hard, and she rips this thing out, and like I don't think her fingers were human fingers because I've not like the amount of pressure that she put on my arm was fucking insane. And she's looking me in the eyes like she hates me, like I'm the worst person in the world or something. And she's holding my vein and it's hurting. You guys, I looked at her and I was like, okay, I'll take it from here. I can hold it. I got this. And she's like, no, no. And she's staring at me, and I'm telling you guys, she had to have held it there for at least a minute and a half with so much pressure. There was not only a bruise on my arm, but four cotton balls were full of blood. Like, it didn't make any sense. Like, I'm still like, it was insane, guys. So, and my hands hurt so bad. Mind you, I went for a burn. A burn right here on my boob. Well, it was on my head and my boob, because that's, I guess, where the hose hit me. And it probably only burnt me on my boob because I had like a sports bra on, which probably kept the hot water in it or whatever. I don't really know. But I went there for a burn. So I wake up and I don't know what's going on, and then she does that, and they didn't even touch my burn, and my hands are killing me. And they've got me all drugged up. I don't know what's going on. And my mom is acting like I'm a bad person. My mom didn't say anything to this woman. And she's like acting like she's embarrassed of me or something. And I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is going on? You guys, by the time I got home, my hands were so swollen, I thought I had 2 broken hands. One of my friends came over because apparently I left my door open, and they had saw the Snapchat that I made. I made a Snapchat of me crying, like, you guys, my hands hurt so bad. I went for a burn, and I feel like my hands are broken. By the time he got there, I was sleeping. My hands were like this freaking big, guys, like huge. And he looked at me, and he had tears in his eyes, and he's not like a person who's like real like, and he was like, what happened to you? And I told him, and like, he knew, because weird shit's been happening to me for a really long time. And he was just like, wow. And like, it was so weird for him that he couldn't even hang out. He was like, holy shit, like, this is really real. Because he's been trying to like act like, oh no, like, no, that's not happening. You know how people are when like they keep seeing stuff and their cognitive dissonance kicks in, and like they're like, oh no, like they just really try to convince themselves that like their reality that's set in stone is just what it is, you know. Like, he couldn't take it, and like, so, you know, he left or whatever. So now, anyways, so later on, I get some calls about these bills. Now let me move this for a second.